Teka lang, parang hindi pa tayo nagkakape dito, ah. Let's try that one more time, shall we? How is everybody feeling today? All right, that is much, much better. I want you guys to hold on to that energy today because trust me, when I say today is going to be a very, very exciting event, of course, under Miss World Philippines 2024. Now, before anything else, let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Erica Christensen, and I am so ecstatic to be your host today as we finally dive deep into the brains of our queens today who are sitting right behind me. Very, very gorgeous ladies. All right, and again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the finals round of the head-to-head challenge of Miss World Philippines 2024. Round of applause, please. Woohoo! All right, you guys. Of course, before anything else, we want to say thank you so much to Southville International School and Colleges for hosting our event for today. Why don't we give the school a huge round of applause as well? Thank you so much for hosting us and welcoming us with open arms. By the way, beautiful campus. Parang my future children. I will see my future children here walking around someday. But again, thank you so much to Southville for hosting us for today. Now, as we all know, last Thursday's preliminary round of the head-to-head challenge was an enjoyable treat as we came up close and personal with the 33 lovely candidates that are vying for the Miss World Philippines crown for this year. Now, actually, today is even gonna be more challenging and we're gonna be adding even more pressure to our girls because from 33, we are actually cutting them down to 8. So actually right behind me, we have our top 8 lovely ladies. Why don't we give them a huge round of applause for making it this far for the finals 8. Trust me, girls, I know how it feels like, but again, I think it's just really about, you know, changing the mindset. We are not here to nitpick you guys, but rather we are here to get to know you girls and what you stand for, right? So I hope you guys keep that in mind as you guys finally stand on your own stage and, you know, tell the world what your opinion is and how you perceive the world. So trust me, it is gonna be fun as we finally give you guys questions about grueling issues that our country is facing today. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, every year the head-to-head challenge is actually the most anticipated challenge in Miss World out of all because this is where we will actually get to know the girls, what they stand for, what they don't stand for, their principles, the values that they have honed through life. Of course, we will also be getting to know a little bit about their background story, how they grew up, their experiences in their life, and how generally just how they perceive the world. So basically put, we are going to be tackling and digging deep into the mind of a beauty queen. So that is very, very exciting for all of us, I'm sure. Now, of course, it is also a test of wisdom and wit. It is a candidate's platform to making the world see that her outer beauty is actually in par with her inner dispositions. Now, it's our way of getting to know her more than what her application paper reveals. All right, so again, trust me when I say we are gonna have such an incredible morning and afternoon with you guys, of course, with our top 8 lovely candidates right here. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Miss World Philippines 2024 head-to-head challenge finals round. All right, now at this point, I'm pretty sure you guys are wondering, how are we actually gonna be judging the girls? Okay, we shall be judging the girls following a very simple mechanic. So for a total of 100%, 60% of that will be going to content, which of course includes statement of purpose, organization of ideas, supporting details, and incorporation of stories or examples to kind of back up their opinions or their stance. Now, the rest of the 40% will go to delivery, which includes, of course, clarity of speech, vocabulary, enunciation, pronunciation, your intonation, volume, poise, and your projection. Basically, your physical appearance of how you deliver your stance and your speech. So again, with a total of 100%, all right? Hopefully, judges, you guys take note of that. Now, with that said, speaking of judges, I think it's now time to get to know our lovely panelists of judge who will be taking the hard route of actually giving the scores of our lovely candidates for today. So, without further ado, let's get to know our panel of judges. Our first judge is a graduate of Industrial Engineering from University of San Carlos in Cebu. She shone brightly as our Miss World Philippines 2021. Her standout includes conquering the head-to-head challenge at the 70th Miss World Finals in Puerto Rico. Her unwavering commitment as a staunch advocate for single mothers adds depth to her already very inspiring journey, showcasing her dedication to empowering and supporting this very important community. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all please give a round of applause to Miss Tracy Maureen Perez, the ever so beautiful girl in white. Love it. All right, next up, our second judge is a passionate advocate for quality education through her community engagement program, is a true talent. With a degree in Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Marketing Management from San Beda College, Alabang, and a teacher's certificate from Southville International School and Colleges, her commitment to education shines bright. Beyond her skills in acting and dancing, of course, she proudly holds the title of the first and only Asian to be crowned the Reina Hispano-Americana. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all please make way for Miss Teresita Winwin Marquez. Now, for our third judge, a world where people can be their best selves is a world full of promise and optimism. That is the vision of John Robert Powers Philippines, and we have the honor this morning to be joined by the curriculum manager of John Robert Powers Philippines. Let's all please welcome Miss Alma Cabagay. And lastly, from one powerful lady to another, our next judge and the chairman of the board is the founder, president, and CEO of CIE Global Colleges and British Schools. With a deep commitment to empowering others and driving positive information, she embodies leadership and compassion in her endeavors to create a better world for all. Let's show some love for the one and only Professor Nelia Cruz Sarcol. All right, judges, you guys are going to have such a tough time for today judging our already intelligent top 8 ladies. But now, you guys, we come to the most exciting part of the day. Our 8 ladies are all geared up for round number 2. So this is how we are gonna do the whole head-to-head challenge for today, all right? In round 2, we will be having 5 sets of segments. The first segment is they will be presenting their opening speech with their Beauty with a Purpose project. Now, the second segment will be, the girls rather, will be picking a question from the fishbowl, and I, your lovely host, will be reading the question out loud to the candidate, and of course, the candidate in front is free to express her thoughts in the language she feels comfortable with. Third segment will be answering questions from the judges or the audiences. Again, we will be having a fishbowl moment right there, whether or not it's going to be coming from the judges or the audience. And fourth, they will be answering questions amongst themselves. So I hope you girls prepared questions for each other. So again, we are going to do like a pre-draw for that. All right, next, after all the girls have taken the respective Q&A limelight, we shall once again call them individually to answer one common question for all. So with 5 rounds of hearing them speak their mind and their heart, I bet our judges right here will already have ample reason to select the 2 best girls who will be moving forward to be this year's top 2 finalists for the head-to-head challenge. So, without further ado, let's once again introduce our top 8 for the second round of head-to-head challenge. Let's start off with, of course, Bacolod, Marianel Tan. Girls, you may please stand up. There you go. Second, we have Baguio, Krishna Marie Gravides. From Batangas, we have Patricia Bianca Tapia. Hailing from Capitolio Pasig, we have Rihanna Agatha Pangindian. From Malaybalay, Pugitnon, we have Dolly Ceballos Cruz. From Manila, we have Gabriel Lancer. From Quezon City, we have Christine Chagas. And completing our top 8 is from Tarlac, we have Jasmine Omay. All right, ladies and gents, now that you guys have met our top 8 ladies, judges, are you guys ready? Audience, are you guys ready? Girls, are you guys ready? I am super ready, so let's get this show on the road. Let's begin with our first round. Here are our girls presenting their free speech for their Beauty with a Purpose project. Let's, of course, start with candidate number 1 from Bacolod, Marianel Tan.
A pleasant morning to all of you, to Southville International School and Colleges, to our lovely panel of judges, to all of the media, and to the Miss World organization, and to my fellow candidates. Polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, is a common hormonal imbalance that affects millions of women worldwide. Yet, it is often misunderstood. According to World Health Organization, there is an estimated 8 to 13% of women in the reproductive age that are diagnosed. And here in the Philippines, 4.5 million Filipinas. I am one of these Filipinas. As a PCOS warrior, I am here to be your voice, to amplify our stories of the struggles and our triumphs. I am an advocate for sustainable development, goal number 3 for good health and well-being. And I hope that we will help each other to raise awareness in this silent condition. In the Women Project that I have started as an initiative, we have made community efforts. We have reached local outreach with educational talks, because I believe that education is the first step to awareness. We have provided menstrual hygiene kits, and we have also ensured that not only women, but it's also men and all genders in our society, that we can establish a support system, because this condition goes beyond the physical aspects. It also extends mentally and emotionally. It could be you, it could be someone in your family, or it could be your friend. So let's help each other fight the stigma towards PCOS. Let's help women, and let's give them a chance to thrive in this life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bacolod, Marianel Tan, you may now take your seat. Next up is Baguio, Krishna Marie Gravides.
The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. That's a quote from Nelson Mandela, which the 16-year-old Krishna has pulled her strength from up until this day. My 16-year-old self did not even imagine that she will have the opportunity to actually inspire and more so influence others, especially the youth, to pursue their own passions and aspirations, whether it's starting a business or joining competitions like this, through her own life story of being someone who had almost nothing to the strong woman that she is now, wiser, financially independent, and most importantly, purposeful through coloring the world with kindness. When I've come to the realization that my life story has that positive magnitude of impact on others, I was willingly and I decided to open my life as an open book through maximizing the platforms of the pageant industry, even if most of the times it requires me to be vulnerable, because I do think that it's all worth it. So now that I'm seeing my 23-year-old me being more intentional, more passionate, and advocate of kindness and self-expression, I am hoping that every time the life or this life will put me on ground. Every time I rise, I make sure that I leave seeds of kindness, love, and respect, having high hopes that it will grow and grow and grow, and the whole world will harvest something good from it. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Baguio. Next up, we have Batangas, Patricia Bianca Tapia.
Helen Keller. I would always get joked around growing up and get called Helen Keller. And for those of you who don't know, Helen Keller is blind and deaf. A little backstory, so I was born premature and diagnosed with a hearing impairment. And later on in my life, I got diagnosed with, an eye deficiency. So I have 200 eye prescription, so I wear contacts and hearing aids. And you could imagine, as someone that was born in the Philippines, with Tagalog being my first language, and moving to the United States, I had to pick up English really quickly, and as a person of color. This was really difficult for me, being around people that were white Americans, culturally different from me as well. Growing up, I often felt prejudice. People would make me feel isolated in the sense that they would make me feel less. They would say, "Why do you say it like that?" Or, "Can't you hear me? Can you hear me now?" I would pronounce things incorrectly. And being in an academic setting with people who were far more advanced than I was, and being an immigrant, I had to raise above this. And being a high school student, I took on positions such as ASB Vice President, and eventually ASB President. I had to think outside of the box. And what I did is that I created a club. It was called Best Buds Club. This connected students with disabilities and students without disabilities. And we did weekly activities together to make those with disabilities feel connected, feel involved, and unity. That was my purpose, for everyone to feel like we are all one. Because why should those with disabilities be outcasted, especially in high school? The younger generation should feel rather inspired and not marginalized. And my journey did not stop there. After high school, I took on the position of Tanawañas USA Youth Director. This bridged the gaps between the Filipino community in the United States and those in the Philippines, where my roots come from, in Tanawan, Batangas. Until this day, I take on initiatives with Malvar Assisted Facility, and we raise funds to have assisted devices so those with disabilities can communicate what they need to, so that they could further develop their skills, and Braille, so that those that are blind can feel and understand what they need to learn, and raise funds for hearing devices so those that are deaf can hear and hear the professors and the lecturers and the teachers. And my purpose here is that so everyone can feel included in an academic setting, regardless of your socioeconomic status, regardless of your background, your ethnicity. And I want everyone to have accessible and equal access to education so that everyone can feel what a sense of purpose feels like. Because in this world, we need to have a purpose so that we can live a meaningful life. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Batangas. Next up on the podium is Capitolio Pasig, Rihanna Agatha Pangindian.
Good morning. Who among you here have been in the lowest point of your life wherein you felt lost, hopeless, or alone? It's okay. I have too. Being bullied at a young age of 12 for my skin color, for my physique, created a huge hole in my heart that made me feel inadequate and incapable of anything good. Thankfully, however, there were people around me who took time to listen and showed unconditional love to remind me of who I am and what my purpose is. Overcoming my struggles through mentorship and role models have enabled me to be a mentor and teacher myself. Bullying is just one of the many issues our teens are facing today. Because of the pressures of life, a lot of them are facing depression, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts. If we do not allow them to be vulnerable and give them a safe space, then who will? That is the heart of the nationwide movement that I'm currently a part of called #NotAlone. We are a youth-centered program which we provide sessions or seminars that will help cater to the holistic development of our students in addressing their most pressing issues. After each session, we provide them a small group that has an older sister and older brother figure that could help them process their thoughts, their emotions, and their learnings after each session. What's unique about #NotAlone is that we have an integrated approach, meaning we also do the same for their teachers and their parents to have a more sustainable impact. If there's one thing that our youth needs to know, is that they are not alone. And we have to take part in this because our students, our youth, is really the future of our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Capitolio Pasig. Next up on the podium, we have Malay Balay Bukidnon, Dolly Ceballos Cruz.
Mic test. Roar. Winston Churchill once said, never, never, never give up. We will never give up until the law will roar for justice. Roar is power, and ROAR stands for my project. ROAR stands for Road of Accessible Rights Project. It is a mobile legal clinic for the marginalized, and it is when the law will roar so that it will be heard, and those who are unheard will someday have their rights. Ladies and gentlemen, in this society where there is complexity, it is the law that binds us together. In this time where we are very much complexed with all the challenges, it is justice that makes us stand up. That is why I am using my passion and my profession as a teacher and a lawyer in order that justice may be served to the marginalized sectors of the society. The indigenous people, women, farmers, and many more are part of the marginalized sectors of the society, and they need our help. That is why it is my goal through my Project ROAR to first partner with private and government institutions in order to advise them with the policies that is very beneficial to everyone and that no one is left behind, rich or poor, all walks of life. As what we have in the province of Bukidnon, right after the Beauty with a Purpose presentation, we have the IP code, and I am very much happy to be part of the legal team. And it is now approved by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. That is through partnership with government institutions. Second goal of the ROAR project is, of course, to continue my mission and to start and have a mobile legal clinic. The province of Bukidnon is very rich with natural resources, with people, and many more. However, the indigenous people are still left behind. I have many clients and they had to travel so many miles away just to reach counsel. Some people and some of them lose their case because of technicalities. Now, through this mobile legal clinic, it is now the law that will go to them so that they will have knowledge of their rights, so that the unheard will be heard and the marginalized sectors will have a voice, so that those who are suffering and those who are oppressed will finally have an answer to their questions and will finally have a hope and be part of the society they are in. I have a dream, and it is my oath that one day, ladies and gentlemen, those who are part of marginalized sectors of the society will have education and knowledge of our law as a teacher. That someday, those who are in the far-flung areas and suffering will have and finally roar because they know their rights, and they will not be deprived anymore because justice is served right at their doorsteps. Thank you very much. Maayong buntag kanatong tanan.
Thank you, Malay Balay Bukidnon. Next on the podium, we have from Manila, Gabriel Lancer.
How could a biological gift no longer be a gift because of our society? And this is stemming to something called period poverty, a system of poverty that is not really often talked about, yet is unescapable no matter what class of society you live in. You could be poor or you could be rich, but it does not mean you could escape this sort of poverty. And my family is one of those people who cannot escape this poverty. I grew up a very curious child. I came from a very cultural background as well. And with being a very curious child, I couldn't help but ask my aunt and my dad, why were my cousins so different than I? And they were not different in the sense of their disabilities or anything like that, but they were an entire different ethnicity compared to me. My aunt and her husband are both pure white Americans, yet their children were African Americans. And to put it in simple terms, to explain the reason why my cousins were so different than I was because of her health, my aunt's health, her womanly health. To try and explain that to a 9 or 10-year-old, that you're able to struggle with your womanly health, is a very difficult thing that they had to break down and talk to me. Yet they were able to. I was able to become educated about womanly health at a young age. Yet there are many women out there and young girls who do not have this privilege that I had. More often than not, women go throughout life being so uncomfortable about being a woman themselves, struggling with their periods, struggling about talking about it normally. And I know, as 19-year-old myself, and just came from high school, one of the most common insecurities we have as young girls is trying to hide a tampon or a pad in our pocket, all because we're too embarrassed of the fact that we all bleed and that it is such a normal aspect. Now, why would we make such a normal aspect so uncomfortable? Why would we make being a woman so uncomfortable when nearly half of our population is women? When our society comes from women, when we all stem from women? Why do women have to be uncomfortable for being who they are and how they are biologically? That is not something that should be normal. Yet it is a taboo here in the Philippines and globally that we are not allowed to menstruate, that we're not allowed to menstruate openly. And this is where my purpose comes in. I've been going around openly talking about being a woman, openly menstruating, openly talking about this topic with women. Not being shy to ask for a tampon, not being shy to ask for a pad. Not just that, but within college, I have written thesis papers and papers about it and educating not just students, but also teachers themselves about period poverty. Because that is the privilege I had. And with that privilege I had, with my education and doing research and the experience I had with my family, I am able to openly express that to others who may not know, who are left unknowing. So hopefully, with my journey here and my journey throughout life, I want to make all women comfortable with being a woman and be able to process themselves as a woman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manila. Next up, we have from Quezon City, Christine Chagas.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. To our co-candidates, the Miss World Organization, to the judges, and of course, Southville International School and Colleges. I want us all to take a moment and think of our childhood. We always get the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I wanted to be a doctor. And so I paved the way and worked hard. I got into University of the Philippines, Manila as a BS Biology major. And I struggled, but tried to persevere. Until one day, I was redirected. One day, I was asked by my teacher to write the number 1 in the board. And I struggled writing that straight line. No matter how hard I tried, I really couldn't write that straight line because I had tremors. By the way, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Christine de los Reyes Chagas, and I have hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism is characterized by the overstimulation of the thyroid stimulating hormone. And it leads to not just the disruption of your everyday life, but it can affect your nervous system and almost every single process of the body because the thyroid gland helps with our metabolism. And so, despite having sleepless nights and anxiety, not knowing how to wake up because I always felt so sad without any cause, any rhyme or reason, I persevered. And years after that, I actually stepped out of my comfort zone while trying to heal myself internally and externally. I became a singer and host at a local TV show, stepping outside my comfort zone despite my erratic heartbeat. At the same time, I also looked at my environment. I looked at my community and have seen the disparity between what others know about thyroid diseases. And so after 5 years of going straight into healing myself, I now want to heal the world and bring my advocacy on thyroid diseases on the pageant stage. It is said that 1 in 8 women develop thyroid disease in their lifetime. And I see this and I understand this. However, there is a lack of awareness and testing on thyroid diseases in our community and also around the world. And so through the Miss World platform, I got to collaborate with my government, the Quezon City government, as well as Quezon City General Hospital. And we are having a discourse on how to better implement awareness and testing, district by district, communities by communities, world by world. At the same time, I have been a part of this organization for the past year. It's called Filipino Thyroid Warriors. The gap in having thyroid disease in the Philippines is that there is no known NGO that is focused on thyroid diseases. And so I really want to highlight the importance of knowing what is wrong with our bodies. Because usually when we have erratic heart rates, we think, oh, it's my heart that I need to have tested. When we have anxiety, we think, oh, it's my brain. Maybe I need to consult a psychiatrist. But what if it's your thyroid gland? And so I advocate for the early detection of thyroid diseases amongst women. From my heart to the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Quezon City. Now, last but not the least, from Tarlac, we have Jasmine Omay.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I am definitely nervous. I'm not sure if it's the cold. But before we go ahead and start, let me ask everyone a question. Any of you guys spent 2 hours not doing anything or being unproductive at all? Like Bruno Mars, but not a day, just for 2 hours. Okay, I see 2 and me. Another 1, thank you. And today, thank you. And today I want to share to you the story of Margaret, a young Aita girl from Sitio, Bulacan. And this is why I wanted to share how precious 2 hours is in Margaret's life and story. Every day, Margaret wakes up before the sun rises, with no food to eat in the morning. For 2 hours, she would walk with her tiny feet for miles, not complaining to the long and arduous trek she has to face every day. And she carries along with her the weight of perseverance and her hunger for learning. Now imagine she reaches the school, and imagine how exhausted she must have been right before she enters the classroom. Now imagine going back again after the day ends, going home and it's pitch dark, and she will call it a day. You know how difficult it is for these Aita children to just go to the nearest school. But then again, they are deprived of that. Margaret's story is not an isolated case. Many Aita children in Kapa City, Tarlac, in Sitio Bulacan, face the same unfortunate expedition to reach the ironically nearest school. Now, these Aita children deserve a fighting chance. They deserve to have a school close to their home, close to their community, that will give them equal opportunity to dream at their fullest potential, to realize that they could be anyone or anybody that they want to be in future, and not just in close to their cultural barriers and their community as well. Now, my project, my Beauty with a Purpose project, the Bahay na Papel, aims to give them that quality education. It aims to give them and to realize and help these children that they do have an opportunity, they do have an option to be teachers, to be police, to be anyone that they could never think of at this moment. Now, this is the sad reality that Bahay na Papel aims to change. A chance to change Margaret's sad story and all the Aita children like her. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tarlac. You may now head back to your seat, please. Okay, one huge round of applause to our girls, please. They have conquered, finally, the first segment of the finals of our head-to-head challenge for today. But of course, as we all know, we haven't even started, girls, because we still have 3 more rounds to go for today. And with that said, let's proceed to our second round. Now, for our second segment, again, we will be, well, the girls actually will be pulling out a question from our Mahiwagang fishbowl right here. And of course, they will be answering that question themselves in the manner and the language that they are most comfortable with, all right? Just to clarify, there's no time limit here, yes? No time limit here. All right, judges, I hope you guys are ready. Let's proceed with round number 2, starting with number 1, Bacolod, Marianel Tan. Wow, I am so nervous for your girls. Oh, just please be here at the middle so that you can grab a question from my fishbowl. All right, girl, I hope you're ready.
Yes.
Okay. I will read it. Girl, I will read it. Stop taking my job. Just kidding. Okay. Marianel, our question for you is, P-pop, a derivative of K-pop, has swept Philippine music industry by storm. Do you feel that P-pop has some ill effects on our cultural identity as Filipinos? Once again, P-pop, a derivative of K-pop, has swept Philippine music industry by storm. Do you feel that P-pop has some ill effects on our cultural identity as Filipinos? Philippine pop, yes. P-pop is Philippine pop, just for everybody's clarification.
Okay, thank you for that. Well, I do appreciate that there is a rise for P-pop, because this is one way for the artist here in the Philippines to promote our culture, our stories globally. And I don't think that it has a negative effect. Let's say SB19 and even Beanie, they are all over the world sharing their music, the creativity of us Filipinos. And I hope that we do appreciate that, not only in the aspect of music, but also in our tourism here in the Philippines, and help each other to promote our culture, our heritage, and us to bring pride to the world as Filipinos. Thank you.
Very well said, Marianel. All right, you may now head back to your seat. Next up, we have from Baguio, Krishna Gravides. Pretty in pink, this girl. Hey, girl.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. All right, so it's time for your question. There you go.
Want me to help you with the bowl?
Girl, yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay. So our question for you is, U.S. President Joe Biden has recently expressed that the U.S. defense commitments to the Philippines are ironclad, which means it's strong. In the light of recent events in the West Philippine Sea, do you feel that the U.S. should take a more concrete action in support of its ally, the Philippines? Once again, U.S. President Joe Biden has recently expressed that the U.S.'s defense commitments to the Philippines are ironclad. In the light of recent events in the West Philippine Sea, do you feel that the U.S. should take a more concrete action in support of its ally, the Philippines?
Thank you for the question. You know, sometimes it's really hard to think how complex and complicated our relationships or the relationship of its country. But with the Mutual Defense Treaty, that's actually been legally implemented, but now it's not activated yet. But I hope that they will fulfill their promise once it happens. And I do want everyone to stand our ground that and to think na atin ang West Philippine Sea. Because I'm proud to say that out loud because we, the Filipinos, the Philippines is the legal and rightful owner of the West Philippine Sea as proclaimed by the Permanent Court of Arbitration on July 2016. So we are the rightful owner of the West Philippine Sea. And you know, one thing I admire about our history is our heroes who were brave enough to defend their independence and our land. And I do hope that the government will also do the same to protect our land and our waters. And us, as ordinary citizens of the Philippines, we can also do something. The very first step that we can do is to equip our mind with true and proper information and influence to others to do the same. Because if we can do that, we can all come up together, and if we have that power or that knowledge, that is our power, and that, I think, is the most powerful defense that we can ever have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Krishna from Baguio. All right, next up is from Batangas. We have Patricia Tapia. Hey, girl.
Hello.
Okay, let's see what you got. Your question is, after the approval of divorce in the House of Representatives, the Philippine Catholic Church maintains that divorce is anti-family, anti-marriage, and also anti-children. How do you defend this position if you were to speak for the church? Once again, after the approval of divorce in the House of Representatives, the Philippine Catholic Church maintains that divorce is anti-family, anti-marriage, and anti-children. How do you defend this position if you were to speak for the church?
As a Catholic Christian myself, I would support the divorce bill by prioritizing mental health. We cannot predict the outcome of any relationship, and sometimes things don't go the way we want to. We go into a marriage hoping for the best outcome, but sometimes it doesn't happen the way we want to. And I believe that what God would want for everyone is to be happy. And if that means separating from their partner, whoever that may be, and if that brings happiness to that person, I am sure that that is what God would want. And I surely understand that as a predominantly Christian country, that we want to stray away from the divorce bill, but I hope that we can collectively also understand that prioritizing our mental health and thriving as an individual apart from the person that may be bringing us down may be the best solution so that we could be the best version of ourselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Bianca. All right, next up is from Capitolio Pasig, Rihanna Agatha Pangindian.
Hi,
Hey,
good
girl.
morning.
You look so good. Good morning.
You. I like your outfit too.
Thank you so much. Okay, so my question for you is, the World Health Organization said that many people are just one illness away from poverty. What solutions can you provide to make healthcare more affordable for Filipinos? Once again, the World Health Organization said that many people are just one illness away from poverty. What solutions can you provide to make healthcare more affordable for Filipinos?
I think one way for us to provide more affordable healthcare is to really work with our government to provide more affordable medicines and healthcare systems like our hospitals and all that. I believe that our country is truly facing a lot of adversities, and poverty is indeed one of them. And so if we work together and the government really provide more affordable treatments and systems for our fellow Filipinos, we are able to achieve a more accessible healthcare for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rihanna. Next up is from Malay Balay, Bukidnon. We have Dolly Ceballos Cruz. Hey, Dolly. Look like such a doll. Okay, my question for you is, PAGCOR warns that the Philippines is expected to lose at least 20 billion pesos annually if the government pushes for a total ban on POGOs or Philippine offshore gaming operators. Do you agree or disagree on this total ban and why? Once again, excited siya. Once again, PAGCOR warns that the Philippines is expected to lose at least 20 billion pesos annually if the government pushes for a total ban on POGOs or Philippine offshore gaming operators. Do you agree or disagree on this total ban and why?
Duralex said Lex. The law may be harsh, but it is the law. However, in that question, I would not agree with the total ban of POGOs. POGOs are legal here in the Philippines. Well, what we can do is not to totally ban it, but we can control it. By controlling it first, we can actually put safeguards as to who, what, when, and as to how it will be implemented here in the Philippines. Second, by making or controlling it, we can actually safeguard those issues in accordance to it as to human trafficking that is really in connection with the POGO operations. And lastly, by merely controlling it, we can actually save the economy of the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, the Philippines is facing inflation. So many people are facing poverty. It is high time that we only control POGO as one of the income generating operations here in the Philippine government. And as we all know, taxation is the lifeblood of the government. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dolly. Very well said. You may now pass on the microphone to the next candidate. Very well said. All right, next up is from Manila, Gabriel Lancer. Hello, Gabriel. Please pick your question. Pick your poison, should I say. All right. Our question for you is, artificial intelligence is facing a serious concern in the system of education here and around the world. How do we make AI as a tool for learning opportunities and not as mere content generators for students to utilize? Once again, artificial intelligence is facing a serious concern in the systems of education here and around the world. How do we make AI as a tool for learning opportunities and not as mere content generators for students to utilize?
Okay, I can personally talk about this firsthand because I am a first-year college student. And with AI being a very predominant thing within our generation, I can say that it really depends on how you teach students or you teach the youth how to use AI. If you teach them to use it in a way that will be beneficial towards their education, then it'll be beneficial. However, if you hinder them and restrict them from using AI, they might use it for the worse. They would use it to cheat on things. They would use it in a worse way. However, if you educate them on how to benefit them in terms of studying, how to study for exams, certain information can be provided through the AI as a means to have easier and quicker access in times of crunch. And for me personally, I sometimes use AI as a means to help me study, especially when I have 5 exams on a single day. Sometimes trying to look through articles and articles and articles does not help. The process is way too slow. We're moving in a high, fast-paced society. Therefore, our education and the way that we receive information should match the same. So if you teach the youth to use AI for beneficial reasons, then it will be beneficial.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. All right, next up we have Quezon City, Christine Chagas.
Hello.
Hello, Christine. Okay, you have the last 2 questions in the bowl. Let's hope you get the easier one. All right. Our question for you is, X, formerly known as Twitter, has around 11.8 million users here in the Philippines alone. Recently, X has formally allowed users to post adult and graphic content on the platform, with some restrictions, of course. While explicit content has notoriously existed on X for quite some time, it was not officially permitted up until now. What is your take on this? Once again, X, formerly known as Twitter, has around 11.8 million users in the Philippines. Recently, X has formally allowed users to post adult and graphic content on the platform with some restrictions. While explicit content has notoriously existed on X for quite some time, it was not officially permitted up until now. What is your take on this?
My immediate take on this is, why was it permitted? Because when we use freedom of speech, especially on social media, right, we have a wide array of demographics. We have the younger children up until the adults, up until the seniors, who would want to express what they feel about a certain topic. X is one of the social media platforms where we can actually get news, but at the same time, it needs more regulation because you can post a lot of topics on it, including the adult contents, wherein if it is seen by the young, vulnerable eye, it can be used against them, and it actually ruins the reputation of X's branding. And so if they would permit, and if they have viable reason to permit adult contents, then they should ensure that it is properly regulated and implemented, especially to safeguard those young people that are exposed to such contextualized media at such a young age. They should be responsible for how they promote their branding, as well as to safeguard those that use it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christine. And of course, last but not the least, we have from Tarlac, Jasmine Omay.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Jasmine, good morning. You are getting the last question.
The last question.
I wonder
out of
what
the
it is.
fishbowl.
Yes. All right. Years after a very divisive election and years hence before another presidential election is exercised, do you think the Philippines is at a better position if the president were a woman? Once again, years after a very divisive election and years hence before another presidential election is exercised, do you think that the Philippines is at a better position if the president were a woman?
Well, I don't believe that the Philippines would be in a better position if we're talking about gender. I mean, men and women are both capable. Now we are talking about who will rule the Philippines better. And it's someone who is compassionate. It's someone who relates to the people. I, as a Filipino citizen, would want someone who would like to hear what I have to say, especially now that we are in a place where we face a lot of issues. We are in the middle of discussions of different relevant issues right now. And I would want someone to hear me, to hear us as a community, because that's where it comes from. A true leader listens to the people, and that's when she listens, he or she listens, she could bring positive change, and that's when we know he or she would be effective. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. All right, that concludes our second segment. Round of applause for our very intelligent and well-spoken girls. By the way, this is a very eloquent batch, I must say. All right, but again, we are not yet over. We still have 2 more to go. So without further ado, let's move on to segment number 3. So again, just for everybody's information, the girls will be asked a question by either the judge or the audience. Now again, it highly depends on which they will be picking from our Mahiwagang Fishbowl. All right, so judges, I hope you have your questions prepared. And audience, I hope you guys have your questions prepared for our girls. And yeah, let's commence. Let's begin with, of course, number 1, Bacolod, Marianel Tan. You're having cramps? Oh my goodness. Are you okay, girl? Okay, you got it? Yes, all right. There we go. Strength of a beauty queen. Okay, Marianel, judge or audience, let's see right here what you picked. And you have judge. I know, Antoinette Agustin. Antoinette Agustin. Hi, girl. Please stand up. Can we give her a microphone, please? We have from the audience. There we go. All right, Antoinette, what is your question for Marianel right here?
Hi. The digital divide limits educational opportunities for many Filipinos. What solutions would you propose to bridge this gap and ensure inclusive access to quality education?
Antoinette, maybe we can repeat that one more time, please.
The digital divide limits educational opportunities for many Filipinos. What solutions would you propose to bridge this gap and ensure inclusive access to quality education?
I myself is a working student, and I have experienced the struggle of having limited resources when it comes to education. What more of the children and those families who have lack of resources or no resources at all? So as someone who has to influence, I would like to work together with government institutions or even organizations that promotes the same cause towards having quality and better health and better educational system here in the Philippines. In that way, we can not just only improve the lives of the Filipinos, but also worldwide. And I want everyone to ensure that we will have a better future for our children. And this is just one step for us in creating an impact in our community and changing lives for the better. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianelle. Thank you very much for the question, Antoinette. Now let's call on Baguio, Krishna Gravidas. Hey again. All right, let's see who you chose. Thank you for opening the paper for me. We have teacher Nelia Cruz Sarcol.
Good morning.
Good morning, Teacher Nelia.
What can you say? What is your take on families practically running our country as if they have titles to the different positions of government? What will you, if you are a legislator, what will you fight for? Will you fight for the anti-dynasty law, and why?
I will definitely and absolutely support the anti-dynasty law. As someone who's from the province, which we all know, it's political dynasties are very rampant and eminent. I do think that it's high time to put a stop on that, because as long as there are political dynasties, families who've been running the cities, municipalities in our nation for generations and decades already, I think we're putting limitations to our society's growth and progress. Because if a certain family runs or a specific family runs like one municipality only, I feel like it's not growing. The ideas are being hindered because the values and beliefs are just passed through generations. And I do hope and I urge the government and us citizens to be more equipped with knowledge, to be more brave in terms of putting our stand on these matters, because it's not only the government that can push through this. We can only advocate for this. We can also do something to achieve a better and safer and more progressive society. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Krishna. Next up, we have from Batangas, Patricia Tapia. Thank you. We have a question from Winwin Marquez.
Hi, Bianca.
Hello.
I will give you an easy question. You guys have been asked really, really hard, but I'm curious. What do you love most about yourself?
What I love most about myself is my empathy. I always give people the benefit of the doubt. Even if I'm told, oh, don't trust that person is bad, it is up to me to make that judgment of that person. And at the end of the day, I think people always deserve a second chance, because we're all humans, we all make mistakes, and I think we all have the opportunity to improve ourselves and become a better version of who we want to become. And I think it's up to me to be an example for other people, that we can all collaborate with one another, work together, so that we can make the world a better place to live in, full of love, and just being connected with one another, so that we can learn from each other and continue to improve ourselves.
Thank you very much, Bianca. Win-win. Sana ganun din yung question mo sa akin nung coronation night. All right, joke lang. Okay, next up, we have from Capitolio Pasig, Rihanna, Agatha Pangindian. All right, we have Georges, Andrea Duqueza Mana. Hey, very unique name, I must say. Is it Jorges or Georges?
George po, George.
Ah, George pa. Ba't may S sa dulo ng pangalan mo? Okay, George, please ask your question.
The Philippines has seen a rise in mental health concerns. What specific actions would you take to raise awareness about mental health and encourage Filipinos to seek help?
Thank you for that question, George. And first of all, I would like to say to everyone who is experiencing mental health illness, I empathize with you. I know it's not easy. It's a very dark place to be in, but there is hope. I would like to encourage people to take part and to look further into the movement or the program that I'm currently a part of called #NotAlone. That is one of our main missions, is to really help especially the young students or the young people, but even teachers and parents who are experiencing mental health problems is also part of this. I think providing each and everyone a safe space to really air out what we are thinking, what we are feeling, will ease out this issue. But of course, we also need professional help. So I believe that the government or us also as a one nation should work hand in hand in making it more accessible for those who are experiencing mental health to seek help professionally and even socially, or just feel loved and feel that they are not alone. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you very much, Rihanna. Next up, we have from Malay Balay Bukidnon, Dolly Ceballos Cruz. Can you open it for me, please, Dolly? Thank you. All right, we have a question from Prince Kevin Kang.
Good morning. The Philippines is prone to natural disasters. How would you leverage your platform to promote disaster preparedness and support communities in recovery efforts? One more. The Philippines is prone to natural disasters. How would you leverage your platform to promote disaster preparedness and support communities in recovery efforts?
Thank you very much. Education is very basic. And education, when we have education, it offers the youth knowledge. And I think the very reason and the very way in order for us to solve these disasters that we have is preparedness. And preparedness should actually come from the youth. I was part of the CDMU back when I was in college. That is a disaster risk reduction management unit for training the youth of Bukidnon State University. And by engaging the youth and even the barangays, our local government officials and units, that is the very way in order to prepare each and everyone in any disaster that will come. And by being in the Miss World Philippines platform, it will be my way to share to people, to invite people that preparedness is the key and that you are not alone in every disaster because we are ready and we can conquer any challenges. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dolly. All right, next up we have from Manila, Gabriel Lancer. Hey. All right, let's see who you got. Oh, there is? There are? Oh, okay. My multiple papers though, guys. Commercial break? No, that's what you thought. Okay. All right, we have a question from Shakira. Catherine Lang.
Good morning, Miss Manila. The
Good morning.
territorial dispute in the West Philippine Sea is a complex issue. How would you advocate for a peaceful resolution to this conflict, considering the importance of international relations? Again, your question is, the territorial dispute in the West Philippine Sea is a complex issue. How would you advocate for a peaceful resolution to this conflict, considering the importance of international relations?
So in order for us to have peaceful communication, is to go into these situations with a more pacifist mindset. That we're trying to handle this without any physical conflict, whether that mean physical conflict of war or physical conflict of our seamen out there. That is one way to go about it, is that we really have to push the mindset of us people, because us civilians have access to social media, that if we advocate for no war and ceasefire, that we would not have to take and implement such harsh procedures to get to a final solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. Last but not the least is, of course, Jasmine Omay from Tarlac. Ayo nga pala, girl, ano ba? Okay, from Quezon City, we have Christine Chagas. All right. I think it's with me. I'll give it to you. Okay. So we have a question from Tracy Marine Perez.
Erica, I forgive you. I'm joking.
Thanks, Erica. Hello, Miss Christine Chagas of Quezon City.
Hello, Tracy.
Whew, you girls are so smart. We are having a hard time choosing our top two, but this is my question for you. If you were to be in my shoes today and be one of the judges, how would you choose a winner? Would you give more bearing on those who say scientific facts? Or would you give more importance to those who share their heart and their personal experiences?
Thank you for that question. Indeed, it is very hard to be in your shoes, so thankfully I'm at this end. But if I were to choose, and if I were a judge, I would choose the healthy mix, because you should always value substance over form, but you cannot value too much substance in that person is no longer relatable. You know, when you were a beauty queen, you were not just a beauty queen, you were also a spokesmodel, not just a representation of your advocacy, but also of the organization and of the brand. And so when we talk about controversial topics or personality topics, we should be able to deliver the best of both worlds. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christine. Okay, last but not the least is Tarlac,
Yes,
Jasmine
this is
Omay.
for sure.
Yes, for sure na to. Okay, our
last.
last person, judge or audience, is of course Miss Alma Kabagay.
Good morning. For my question, it's a bit simple as well. If you could accomplish one goal during your reign, what would it be and why?
Well, if I could accomplish one goal during my reign, it would have to be what I said earlier during my free speech on my Beauty with a Purpose, and that is to build a school that is closest to the Aita children in Sitio, Bulacan, a charity where I hold my heart very close. And the reason being is that I could never imagine going there at the age of 24 and realizing that those children haven't been able to step foot. I mean, not all of them were able to be in a situation where they could receive education. When I asked them what they wanted to be when they grow up, they did not reply to me because they don't know what they could be in the future. And that breaks my heart because at this point, I can say I am quite accomplished as an individual person, but they haven't realized their fullest potential. And if I am able to complete that in my reign, at least that, I know that I've made a change. I was able to leave a legacy, and I will be able to ripple that effect to help more indigenous communities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. All right, that concludes our third round for today, ladies and gents. Round of applause once again for our top 8. Wow, the judges are really going to have a hard time picking our top 2, as Tracy mentioned earlier. But again, we are moving on to the 4th segment, which is, of course, the girls will be asking each other questions. So I believe the girls here have prepared questions for each other. So with that said, I will be announcing the pairs. Okay, let's do it. Do I have the paper with me? Do I have the paper with me? It's here, sorry. I'll just get it from my bag. Quick commercial break, guys. Magkwentuhan muna kayo dyan. 2 minutes. It's here in my bag.
5 minutes? More like 5 minutes. Bakit nahirapan ba kayo mag-judge sa answers? Diba, very eloquent batch ang ating mga girls today.
Hello? Kuya naman, kinot off niyo yung microphone ko. Ayaw niyo na ata ako magsalita. Okay, so I do have the pairings here in my hand. Should I announce it? Or lahat na para prepared na sila? Lahat na. Okay, so listen up girls. I'll be announcing the pairings for this round. First pair is Capitolio Pasig and Quezon City. Okay? Next pair is Quezon City and Tarlac. Nag-uulit-ulit. You drew lots already. So you guys already know. So ba't pa ako nag-announce dito? Joke lang. It's for the audience. Okay. So next up, we have Tarlac and Manila. Tama. And then we have Manila and Capitolio Pasig. Correct. And then we have Baguio and Malaybalay Bukidnon. Correct. And then we have Malaybalay, Bukidnon, and Batangas, correct? And Batangas and Bacolod and Baguio. All right, so I hope you guys are ready. We will now be proceeding with the fourth segment. Again, the girls will be asking each other's questions, and I have just told you guys the pairings. So with that said, let's start off with our first pair, which is Capitolio Pasig and Quezon City. Go girls, you can stay here at this podium and then Rihanna will be on the other side.
Rihanna, go easy on me.
All right, so for this segment, I believe Rihanna will be asking the question first to Quezon City.
Yes, don't worry, Christine. I know how it feels to sit back there too. So I'll give you a quite easy question. So I'm just curious to know, Christine, what is your biggest accomplishment and how have you achieved this?
It might be cliche to say this, but my biggest accomplishment as of the moment is actually joining Miss World because I do have an erratic heartbeat. At the same time, I've always been a shy person. So to put myself in front of the public eye, to speak my mind and be subjected to the scrutiny of the public, it's a big ordeal for me. At the same time, trying to be at par with all of you beautiful girls who are well accomplished also. It feels really gratifying to be here, and it feels really satisfying to finally raise my advocacy on thyroid diseases because it's something personal to my heart. It's something that I experienced, and it's something I want to share to the world. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christine. And of course, Rihanna. Next up on the podium is Quezon City and Tarlac. Quezon City and Tarlac. Yes. Gabriel, you'll come after this. Correct. Okay.
Hi, Jasmine.
Hello, Christine.
My question is actually simple. Aside from diamonds, if you were to be a gemstone, what would you be and why?
Oh, aside from diamonds, well, I would be a ruby. Because I remember briefly, you know what, I don't even know the type of gems. I don't know much about it. But one thing that I remembered when I was a kid, my mom would always open up her cabinet and there was this little red box of the things that she holds precious and she doesn't want me to touch because for sure, if I played with it, I'm gonna lose it at once. And there was this ruby there. It was a ring. And I asked her, why is it so important to her and why did she want me to play with it? And it's because it reminded her of the love that my mom and my papa both shared. And at a very young age, I was very inspired and I was very hopeful that it comes true, that it is honest and how I wanted to feel that as well. But you know what? Love comes in every form. It can be the love of a mother, love of a father, from a person, from a friend, and that comforts me. And thank you for asking me that question because right now I was just reminded of how powerful love truly is. Thank you.
Yes, well, girl, you're a beautiful ruby. Thank you for answering that.
Thank you very much, Quezon City. Next up on the podium is Manila with Tarlac.
Okay, now I get to ask the question.
All right.
Okay, Gab. My question is very simple too. What made you laugh today?
Something that made me laugh today would actually be my recent addition to my family, which is my puppy that I got from Rihanna. We are now connected through our dogs. He made me laugh so hard this morning because he doesn't normally walk like a regular dog. In fact, he's more like a bunny. And his mere fact that he was walking and jumping like a bunny this morning at 4 a.m. while I'm trying to get ready for today, get my hair and makeup done, was just so adorable and sweet that I couldn't help but laugh at him because of how adorable he is at nearly 4 a.m. when he should be sleeping.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tarlac. Next up on the podium is Capitolio Pasig.
Oh, I love that story. Thanks for sharing that. He does walk like a rabbit.
He does. My question for you would be, if a young girl walked up to you and asked, should I do pageantry, what would you say to them?
Oh, that touches my heart. Thank you for that question. As someone who have gone through pageantry 4 times already, I would like to tell that young girl that pageantry will really shape her and mold her as a woman. It might be scary at first that to see all tall women wearing all glamorous dresses, but I can in fact help her if she wants me to, coach her on how she can develop as a young lady and as a woman, because I think pageantry is so complex. It is not only about how we look, but through our head-to-head challenge, you can see that we are also being tested with our wits, with our brains, and even with our hearts. Through our charities or through the causes that we truly believe in, our hearts or our compassion for people are also being showcased. And I hope that this really inspires young girls and even young boys to be Thank you. To be the best version of themselves. And I hope that if this young girl would like to join pageant, it should also come from her. She should want this, because if you don't do something that you truly love, you might just lose yourself in the process. But if you truly know what you are getting into and you know what you want, you will be unstoppable. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the both of you girls. Wonderful. Now, next up on the podiums, we have Baguio and Malay Balay Bukidnon.
Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. Hi, attorney. Oh, yeah, your mic. You know, when I was thinking about a question, I'm like, thank you, Miss World, because I feel like this is a free consultation from an attorney.
Please be kind to me.
So, yeah, my question is, I think you are the perfect person to answer this. I came from a family, like generations of family that's broken. Basically, my mom and dad got separated. And also at the same time, I grew up in a family that's very devoted with their religion, specifically Catholic. My question is, as an attorney, if you were to stand in a large crowd of Catholics, what will you say about your stance about the divorce bill?
Thank you for that, Krishna. I am a Catholic, and I am very proud to have a wonderful family, parents who love each other. And even in our Constitution, it protects a family as the basic institution of our government, of our country. However, as to the issue of divorce, I believe that it is high time. It is time that the Philippines should open up for divorce. First of all, we are the only country, apart from Vatican City, who does not legalize divorce. We have annulment, we have legal separation. We also have divorce in some areas. And this can be very prejudicial because it allows only foreigners and our Muslim brothers and sisters to have divorce. Second, annulment is very, very, very expensive, and it is time consuming. Sometimes it takes 5 or more years to get annulled, and that is very detrimental to a family that is going through so much pain, that is going through so much abuse. Third, divorce may not be the easy way out, but divorce is the hope for those who are abused, and sometimes it can be a hope for a broken family. While it is the basic institution of the government, of this country, but still, ladies and gentlemen, who would want to live in a family that is abusive? Who would want to live hearing their parents quarrel each and every day? It could affect the mental health of the children. It could affect the future of the children. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, divorce is the more practical way. However, while I agree that it will be legalized in the Philippines, the safeguards as well as the provisions should be strictly scrutinized in order for the law, if passed, to not be abused by people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next up on the stand is Malaybalay, Bukidnon, and Batangas.
Hello, attorney.
Hi, Bianca. All right, this one's a very easy question. So, if you become a senator for a day, what law would you want to author with regards your advocacy? Again,
I become a what?
if you become a senator, Senator Bianca, for a day, what law would you want to author with regards your advocacy?
I am very, very passionate about my advocacy, and I think honestly it's my objective in this life to take care and give back to what I'm so passionate about, inclusive education. And as my role as a senator, Senator Bianca, I would definitely take initiatives. I would focus on my 5-year plan that I'm focusing on right now. I would focus on the student to teacher ratio so that those with disabilities can get the proper attention that they need to develop their skills so that they can land a job in our job industry. I think having a job is what makes our life purposeful. It's what keeps our day-to-day life going so that we have something to do. And I think it's unfair to those with disabilities to not be able to get a job because they did not get the proper education that they needed to achieve the skills that they need. So as a senator, I would focus on raising funds and really using my voice so that everyone knows about it, because I really want to inspire those to think about those with disabilities. They are often left out, they are often outcasted, and we don't really consider them when we are hiring people for positions. And so, as senator, I hope to make a change today and every day for the rest of my life, because this is something that I care about. And whether I'm not a senator or am a senator, this is something that I will continue to fight for.
Thank you very much, Malaybalay, Bukidnon, and Batangas. Next up is Batangas and Bacolod.
Hello, beautiful Miss Bacolod.
Hello, beautiful Batangas.
So my question is, would you rather choose to be with your soulmate, find that soulmate, or land your dream job?
I would rather land my dream job because I am a career woman. And I believe that if I have found my soulmate someday, he will support me in whatever dreams that I aspire to be. And I hope this goes to women who are single right now, to focus on yourself, work on your dreams, work on that education. And once that you are already settled down in life, everything will just follow. So dream big and dream high. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Batangas and Bacolod. Now, our last pairing for today is Bacolod and Baguio.
Hi, seatmate.
Hello there. Oh, we're wearing both pink.
Yeah, matchy.
All right, so this is actually a very controversial issue right now. So we have been rallying so much for women empowerment, for women to have the most autonomy towards their bodies, their choices in life. Here in the Philippines, where we are predominantly religious, how would you persuade the Filipinos or the Philippines to legalize abortion?
You know, at first, I was really intimidated by this issue because it's really controversial. And looking at the progressive countries, we can see how they excel in their economy, or they're, pushing for the rights of women because they listen to their women. And for me, abortion is, should be an option, should be legalized here in the Philippines as well. Because I believe in the power of bodily autonomy, that we women has been, fighting our rights for decades and centuries already. So I do think that we should be, implemented by the freedom of choice to choose whatever we want to do with our body, of course, without being or implementing harmful or harm with anyone. And we should have the freedom of choice to not only choose whatever we want to do with our body, but also to be in every profession that we want, to be a teacher, to be a lawyer, to be a housewife. And I think it will all boil down to just, having to or implementing the freedom of choice for our women. Because it's high time that we also see ourselves as one of the pillar of strengths in our society. And one way to do that is to provide women a better, safer opportunity for children. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Baguio and Bacolod. All right, round of applause for our girls, guys. That concludes the fourth segment. But of course, before we finally finish off, we will top it off with one common question for all of our girls, all right? Before we finally announce the top two after a little break. So girls, I hope you guys are ready for our common question. Starting off with Ate Krish. Hello? Huh? Okay. So, okay, podium. Okay. Para at least fair for everybody. So, girls, I'll see you later. We'll kick you out first, out of this area, just so that you guys don't hear the question. And no peeking, no opening the door accidentally, just so that it's fair for everybody. All right, I'll stay here on the other end of the podium. All right, let's give them a few minutes to exit the area. All right, one last girl. No, three last girls. Miss Bacolod, I hope you're ready.
I am ready.
As
Hello.
always.
Thank you.
Okay, so now that the door is closed, my question for you is, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation here in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry? Once again, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry?
We are living in a digital era where social media and content creators has so much influence. And I think that the ethical method or way for us to establish the advancement, or to take the potential into its utmost form, is to make sure that our content creators will put information or content that is factual and also that is something that's into their niche. Because I believe that with the right use of social media, we can definitely have a positive impact in our community. Whether it is in the aspect of education, because right now in TikTok, there's actually different people that are making different contents. So whether it is in education, it is in healthcare, it is in politics, I hope that we can all come into that common ground to ensure that what we put out there is safe and that we can make a community where we are free to express ourselves and that we can remove the prejudice or discrimination against each other. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bacolod. Next up on the stadium is Baguio, Krishna Marie Gravides. There she is. Again, Miss Baguio, Krishna Marie Gravides. Bacolod, you may now take your seat here on stage.
Hi, thanks for that. We've
Kaya
released
pa?
our stress there. Yeah.
Okay, Krishna, our question for you is, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation here in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry? Once again, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry?
As a content creator myself, I do understand that a lot of people wants to enter this platform because it's really something that can generate income for us. Even if you're just in the province or wherever you are, as long as you have internet or Wi-Fi, you can upload a video or photo in the internet and you can gain money from that, cash from that, that can help you. And now that it's very rampant, there are a lot of people who are very eager and interested to join. I do hope that the government should create policies that will align the moral or the policies that can have firmer regulations on the content creators. They can have or they can create strict licensing. We can also do that in order for these content creators to be more morally upright whenever they post something on the internet. Because whatever we post on the internet, we also have to realize that we affect people, we influence people. And I'm encouraging my co-content creators to do the same. That whatever you post online, think that it will be permanent and a lot of people will see it, especially the younger generations or the young minds. That we don't always think about money, we don't always think about our self-interest, but also our audience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Baguio. Next on the stand is Batangas, Patricia Bianca Tapia. There she is, making her way on stage. Again, Miss Batangas, Patricia Bianca Tapia. Hello, Bianca. Okay. Our question for you is, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry? Once again, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry?
It's actually incredible to see this big boom, and I think after each generation we see these advancements that happen in our world. And there are many social media influencers that exist today, and I think for me personally, it's important important that we always share the truth. Because oftentimes when we are using social media, we can be misinformed or misdirected by what is actually going on. And as social media influencers, people look up to you. It is also your duty to inspire those that are following you, to make them feel good so that they are directed towards a path that is progressing them towards a better future. Social media influencers have a lot of people that are following them. They are being vulnerable to the people that are following them. It's important that they are able to relate to the people that are following them and pushing them towards a destiny of positivity, because we all work together. We are all sharing our knowledge with one another, and we must justify that we are here for one another, virtually or not virtually. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bianca. Next up, we have Kapitolyo Pasig, Rihanna Agatha Pangindian. All right.
Hi, once again.
Rihanna, our question for you is, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry? Once again, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry?
I think content creation is such a unique avenue for such creative people like our influencers and even us beauty queens. We are also trying to learn or venture into this, and I see so many opportunities that this content creation industry can open up to so many different people, especially the young people. I see that they are able to express more of themselves through this. So I think it's important that we value their creativity, we value their work, and that we respect them. So I hope that we compensate them accordingly, and we do not just undervalue or overlook what they have put so much hard work into, because it's not easy to create contents that will hopefully educate, inspire, and really move people to take actions for certain causes as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rihanna. Next up on the stand is Malay Balay Bukidnon, Dolly Ceballos Cruz. Dolly.
Hi.
Hello.
That was a long walk.
I know, awkward too, so silent. Anyway, our question for you is, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation here in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry? Once again, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation here in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry?
I'd like to start my answer by saying every person must, in the exercise of their rights and the performance of their duties, act with justice, give everyone their due, and of course, observe honesty and good faith. So in that case, I think that social media influencers should observe, first of all, professionalism. Professionalism in the contents that they will be putting online. Because it's not only the adults who will watch it, but definitely the youth who are very much into social media and into the internet. So they must always consider the welfare of the youth, like what we have here, our students from Southville. Second, they must think before they click. in our society nowadays, we have so many things that we could put into content. However, we must always consider what is legal, what is illegal, what is freedom of speech, and what is beyond freedom of speech. Because while we have rights, all or not all of it is protected. Lastly, last but not the least, the government should actually be active in taking part or in partnering with the social media influencers, especially that the government exercises what we call parents patriae. Parents patriae, or the mother, or the parent of the state. In other words, there should be control as to the contents that will be published, and control as to what will be seen and what will be posted. And I think that's the way in order for this content or social media influencers to go into professionalism. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dolly. Next up is from Manila, Gabriel Lancer. Yes, there we go. All right, Gabriel, our question for you is, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry? Once again, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry?
I think in terms of ethical standards, one thing that needs to be considered is the reason it's being put it out there and who it will be affecting. If they're putting out content as a means to downgrade people, to put them down, then it should not be posted. If they're posting and advertising things as a means to promote something that's actually beneficial for people and society, then let it be posted. A common phrase would be, if you have nothing nice to say, then say nothing at all. And that is a policy that should be applied on social media. Because social media should not be a platform to drag people down, but rather to uplift people, since social media's purpose is to connect us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. Now we have from Quezon City, Christine Chagas. Hello, Christine. Our question for
Hello.
you is, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry? Once again, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry?
When we talk about ethics, it should first and foremost uphold and uplift the welfare of other people, may it be in the younger demographics or the older demographics. And in terms of social media, it should be the people that subscribe to that certain social media. When you're a social influencer, you should know that there are certain ethical standards to uphold. And one way to do this is, of course, to screen them regularly. There should be a regulating body in social media to discern which influencers truly promote things that uplift and promote the ethical standards of our society. Because social media is such a rampant platform, it's every day that we use them, and it's every day that we see content that other people should already screen, because when we subject the vulnerable eyes of the youth to explicit social media, then we are subjecting them to a future that is no longer considered bright, because they should be able to understand and be intelligent. Social media should be used as a platform to make individually informed and accomplished people above using the news, above using entertainment, and to make sure that the people can uplift and uphold the standards of society. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christine. And last but not the least, we have Jasmine Omay from Tarlac. Jasmine,
Hello.
Our question for you is, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry? Once again, over the years, we have seen a considerable boom in content creation here in the Philippines. What do you think should be the ethical standards for social media influencers to professionalize this booming industry?
You know what? When it comes to social media, we are so fluid in all of the motions and the actions that we do. And right now, for content creation, everybody can do it. And it is an opportunity for the youth, for everyone to explore the platform and to gain opportunities from it. But I understand that there should be a metric. And I guess it's all about being responsible on what you post, on what you share, and at the same time, being careful of what we want to portray or who we wanted to show ourselves, a part of ourselves. Because in this age, we are so flustered with what we see online, and sometimes it brings us to an emotional downfall, whatever it is that we are seeing online. So just as long as we know how to carefully share the contents that we want to be perceived in the public, then I guess there's a lot of opportunities for us in social media.
Thank you very much, Tarlac, Jasmine Omay. All right, and that concludes our fifth and last round for the finals of Head to Head Challenge. I think our beautiful top 8 here have done such a wonderful job. Very, very eloquent batch. I really commend you, girls. Wonderful job, and you guys can now relax for now. But in a few minutes, we will be announcing the top 2. So it is not over for our top 2 girlies, as they will battle it out on a free speech debate happening later on, all right? But for now, we will be announcing the top 2. Are the results ready? Are the results ready? Okay, we'll give you guys 5 minutes. So with that said, let's just take a short break, and I will come up here on stage to announce our top 2 girls who made it to the super last round. And the top 2 girls will be the head-to-head challenge winner on your coronation night, okay? So relax, sit back, relax, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. hello everybody. We are back. Gising ba kayo dyan? Nagkape na ba kayo? Are you guys ready to know who our top finalists are? Okay, because I am. All right, so again, just to reinforce what our agenda is for today, we will now be announcing, and by the way, just in, we actually have our top 3. So yes, Miss World Philippines and our judges here are feeling extra generous that we are opening up one more spot. So instead of top 2, top 3 na tayo, who will battle it out on a free speech debate happening later as we close off the finals round, okay? So without further ado, let's announce our top 3. When I announce your name, please stand up right here in the middle of the stage. Audience, are you ready? Girls, are you ready? Okay. Our top 3 head-to-head challenge finalists. Our first spot goes to Malay-Balay Bukidnon, Dolly Sabalios Cruz. Congratulations. Our second spot goes to Tarlac Province, Jasmine Omay. And completing our top 3 is none other than, who is your vote? May mga vote pa kayo dyan? Parang tahimik. Okay. Is Batangas, Patricia, Bianca, Tapia. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our top 3 candidates for the finals of our head-to-head challenge. Let's give these girls a huge round of applause. And of course, our top 8, you girls did so wonderful. Ang galing-galing nyo, very eloquent. Okay, you may now leave the stage. I bet they were like, yes. All right, girls. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do our last and final round to determine who our winner is for the head-to-head challenge, which we will be announcing during your coronation night, okay? So we will be having, obviously, a question for you guys. You guys will battle it out on a free speech. So we will be giving you guys 2 minutes each to discuss anything about that topic I will be giving you. So we will be discussing 2 topics, which I will be announcing to you girls later on when we begin. Okay, but again, free speech, by definition, anything and everything about it. Okay, but you have 2 minutes to fill in. Okay, and of course, next is a common question for you girls. This one has no time limit. Am I correct? No time limit for the common question? 30 seconds. Sorry, my bad. So 30 seconds will be given to you girls each to answer the common question. All right? And with that said, I hope you girls are ready. Let's begin. Okay, we will not be taking any stadium because everybody is, it's an odd number. And we only have 2 stadiums here. All right. Sorry. Okay, so but beforehand, of course, our top 3 candidates, we want to get to know them even better, diba? I mean, their life stories, who they are. So before we begin our tough questions, of course, let's begin first with a personality question. Well, not really a question, but more of just introduce yourself to us. So we will be giving you girls 1 minute to introduce, you know, anything and everything about you, what you want the audience to know about you girls. This is your time to shine. 30 seconds. Okay. So 30 seconds for the introduction. I hope you girls are ready. Let's start with, of course, we have Attorney Dolly here from Malay-Balay Bukidnon. All right. 30 seconds starts now.
Maayad ha aldaw ta inyo alan. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dolly Sabalios Cruz. I am a 3-in-1 woman, as I've said before. I am a teacher, I am a lawyer, and I am a beauty queen with a purpose. Apart from being that, I advocate for the rights of the marginalized sectors of the society, especially the indigenous people, the farmers, and the women. I love dogs. I have 11 of them at home, and I personally take good care of them. Apart from that, I love music, and it is my therapy. Nice meeting you all. Thank you very much.
All right, next up, we have from Tarlac, Jasmine Omay.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I am Jasmine Amay. I came from Tarlac province. Before, I used to be so insecure about my height, about my appearance. They would always tease my last name, which is Omay to Shomay. And growing up as a child who faced that every single day going to school, I dreaded my last name. Later on, after 18 years, to find out when I first entered pageantry, it would be such a huge catch name because it was unusual. And I was known to be Oh My, and I'm here sharing the story of Oh My. Thank you.
Hindi ako ma-oomay sa'yo, sa mukha mo. Okay, I love it. All right, next up we have from Batangas, Patricia Bianca Tapia.
I hope you're all hanging in there. My name is Patricia Bianca Tapia. Some people call me Aika. I was born in Makati City, Manila, immigrated to the United States when I was 4 years old. For fun, I like to play tennis, go surfing, and give my dog cuddles. I'm a big Swiftie, and I also love romantic movies and horror movies, no in between. And a fun fact about me is I really love chicken tenders. I know my taste of cuisine is not that special, but you know, I could never say no to French fries and chicken tenders. So that's a little bit about me.
All right, thank you very much, girls. Now let's dive into the nitty and gritty of our segment. Okay, again, we are gonna battle it out on a free speech. We will be giving you girls 2 minutes each to discuss anything about the topic that I will be giving you guys. All right, so our first topic is Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals. With that said, let's start with, of course, Malaybalay Bukidnon, Dolly Ceballos Cruz. And your 2-minute timer starts right now.
Micro and macro effect. We have immediate solutions to problems, but we have long-term solutions. Long-term solutions and macro effect, that's what we call sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, in the society that we are in, and based on my advocacy, I advocate for sustainable legal aid for the marginalized sectors of the society and a sustainable mobile legal clinic. When I say sustainable, it lasts through time, and it will not only be relevant today, but it will be relevant tomorrow and for the rest of our lives. Because in our society and in this kind of time, we need sustainable projects that will solve macro problems. And with these sustainable projects, we are able to connect with people, to deal more with people, to deal more with different problems. And with that being said, we will have sustainable solutions to sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dolly. All right, next up we have Jasmine.
Okay, I want to talk about SDG 17, which is Partnership for the Goals. It might be the farthest one, but I would have to say it is the solution to all of the problems. And if I were to talk about my advocacy, it would have to be that solution. That could be the aid to all of the problems that we can see, even the smallest things. Once we partner up with people, with the right people, once we know who can we connect with in a certain way, then we can for sure solve some problems in a very little way. And that could have been made a huge impact in the long run. So just as long as we know how to partner up and talk to the right people regarding the matter, I believe that all problems can be solved through partnership and better understanding. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. Next up, we have Bianca.
I'd like to share with you all how I approach sustainability, and that's to reduce, reuse, and recycle. It all starts at home, so I encourage you all to have a recycling bin, because it all starts with a simple step. Those little things that we do make the biggest difference in our world. So let's inspire the young so that we can raise them to think the same. And I hope you all really remember those 3 R's, because for me it's easy to remember. And I hope you guys implement this in your life as well, because we should think greener and live in a world where we treat our Mother Nature with love and respect. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bianca. Good job, ladies. Now, our next and last topic for your free speech is identity theft. All right, identity theft, and we will be starting with Jasmine. All right, Jasmine, I hope you're ready. Your 2-minute timer starts now.
We are facing in a world where information is always given out and it's easily accessible. Right now, there are a lot of issues regarding identity theft that we should be mindful of. And as someone who has this platform, it is only right for me to advocate. And as a candidate, I would love to talk about it more and to let people be aware of their privacy and to be cautious of what we share online, because it matters mostly how we use these information for our own self. And as we enter the digital world, being cautious is one way to protect not just our privacy, but also our emotional peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. Well said. Next, we have Bianca.
Identity theft is a scary thing. We live in a world where everything's so technologically advanced, and we must be really careful with what we share online because anything can be taken away from you, such as your name, or if you accidentally post your driver's license or your passport, anyone can do something with that. So I highly encourage that we all voice out our concerns and for there to be measures taken so that we can protect our identity, because we are the only ones really unique to ourselves. We are the only ones that can really call ourselves by our name, and that should never be taken away from anyone. So let's continue to advocate for fighting out for our identity, because that is something that is unique to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bianca. Well said as well. Next is Dolly.
Our privacy is protected by our laws. Our identities is protected by our laws. And because we have this right that's protected by law, we must be strong enough to fight for our identity. Ladies and gentlemen, there are two sides of this story. First is, for everyone, let us be cautious as to what we post, especially posting IDs, posting very personal information online, which can be very attractive to criminals. Second, it is a warning to criminals, to those who would want to commit identity theft, that it is a crime and you can be imprisoned. You can be civilly and even criminally liable. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a message to each one of us that our identity is very precious. And our identity should be protected because it can be used in illegal matters. That is why if you have a right, ipaglaban mo at protektahan mo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dolly. What a very powerful speech that was. All right, girls, so we will be starting with a common question. With that said, we will be starting with Bianca. So the two of you ladies, maybe we could please kindly exit the area and never come back. Just kidding. Okay, Bianca, hello.
Hello.
So for now, in the meantime, we will be standing awkwardly on stage as we wait for these two lovely ladies to exit the area. Take a few moments to breathe, ground yourself. Good, okay. Has the door been closed yet? There you go. Okay, perfect. Bianca, our last question for you for today is, what is your dream role to address one particular global issue that's closest to your heart that demands the most urgent concern in the world? Once again, what is your dream role to address one particular global issue that's closest to your heart that demands the most urgent concern in the world?
Apart from inclusive education, it is actually something that I just spoke about, which is sustainability. I think we really have to give back to our earth. We are blessed enough to live on this beautiful beautiful earth that has been given us to God, and it is up to us to take care of it. It is up to us to give back and to recycle and to take care of our animals and to take care of the environment that we live in, so that we can wake up every day and be grateful for everything that is around us. It is up to us to give back to our Mother Nature, because again, this is all of us living fortunately to be given a life, and it is our duty to take care of our environment, our animals, and one another. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bianca, you may now head back to one of the seats there. Thank you. All right, let's call on our next. We have Dolly. Dolly Ceballos Cruz. Hey, girl. Oh, is the microphone working? Well, just take this, just in case.
Hi.
All right, Dolly. Finally, on to your last question for the day. Yeah. So our question for you is, what is your dream role to address one particular global issue that's closest to your heart that demands the most urgent concern in the world? Once again, what is your dream role to address one particular global issue that's closest to your heart that demands the most urgent concern in the world?
Thank you very much. I think the most vital role that I can have is by being a responsible citizen and lawyer. The most common or the biggest issue that we're facing is the war all around the world. And there is no real victor in war. It has affected so many countries. It has affected the Philippines, and that is why we are having very high inflation rate in the countries, and the poor become poorer. By being a lawyer and by being a responsible citizen, I can actually teach people and educate people about their rights, how to fight for it, and to stand up for justice, and to never be blinded by anything that is against their will, and fight for the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dolly. Now let's welcome our last contestant, no, that's Bianca. Jasmine Omay of Tarlac Province. There she is, walking so fast, getting ready to finish her last question. Okay, Jasmine, yes. All right, Jasmine, our last question for you is, what is your dream role to address one particular global issue that's closest to your heart that demands the most urgent concern in the world? Once again, what is your dream role to address one particular global issue that's closest to your heart that demands the most urgent concern in the world?
That would have to be solving education, or that would be my goal. Because my advocacy that's closest to my heart is the Bahay na Papel project, which aims to give indigenous communities a chance for education. And we were able to do that. I was able to take the first step through making partnerships last week, and I know that I am close to my goal, and I was close to making it come true because of Miss World Philippines. And being here is a testament of how we can always achieve greater heights together by bringing the purpose in this platform and to share it with a lot of people, and that we can help them as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. Ladies and gentlemen, that finally concludes the finals of our head-to-head challenge. Round of applause for our top 8 and our top 3 girls. Please stand up. I think my konting photo up lang in the middle. There you go, girls. Guys, again, round of applause. I mean, very eloquent, very intelligent girls that we have here. Our judges are already having such a hard time, but they will even have a much, much harder time determining who the winner is for our head-to-head challenge, who will automatically get a spot in the semis during coronation night for Miss World Philippines 2024. All right, now before we finally say goodbye, of course, we would like to thank our dearest judges for doing the hardest job for today in determining and cutting down from top 8 to top 3. Round of applause to our dearest judges. We will be giving out certificates to them for, of course, just a little appreciation token for you guys for coming out. And, you know, we understand you guys are very, very busy, but still, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come here with us in behalf of Miss World Philippines. So with that said, may we please call on the judges here on stage for a quick photo op and the certificates. All right, starting with, of course, Miss Tracy Marine Perez, Miss Teresita Marquez, Professor Nelia Cruz Sarcol, and Miss Alma Cabagay. Woohoo! Wala ba akong certificate? Joke lang. Okay, here you go. And then, of course, Miss Alma right here. Nice to see you again, Miss Alma. All right, ladies, let's squeeze in the middle for a quick photo op, please. Miss Alma, I think you should be at the other side. Okay. All right, ladies, let's smile in 3, 2, 1. And another one for the gram. In 3, 2, 1, smile. All right, let's call in our top 8 girlies here on stage for a quick photo op with our judges. All of the girls pala, sorry for excluding you girls, joke lang. All of the girls, Miss World Philippines candidates, make your way here on stage for a quick photo op with our panel of judges. All right, girls, settle in and smile your biggest smiles in 3, 2, 1. Hold those smiles. One more. 3, 2, 1. Hold it, hold it. Hold it. Okay na ba? All right, good to go. Good job, girls. Guys, again, round of applause for our head-to-head. Ako, picture. Guys, nahiya naman ako. Baka magmukha na akong candidate dito, ah. Charot. Okay, picture daw with me, guys. Guys, with me naman. Okay, guys, with me, with the host. With the ever-funny host. Charot. Okay, smile, girls, in 3, 2, 1. Thank you, girls. Thank you so much to our dear panel of judges. Awesome, awesome work for you guys. I know how it feels, very nerve-wracking, but the day is finally over. Your head-to-head challenge is finally over. All right, and with that said, again, we will be finding out the winner of the head-to-head challenge, who will be having a spot on the semis during the coronation night of Miss World Philippines 2024, happening in just a few weeks. So if you guys want more updates, don't forget to follow us on social media at Miss World Phil, and you will catch all of the sitch in there. Once again, everybody, my name is Erica Christensen. Have a great day, everyone. And yeah, have a great day. Bye. Woohoo! Good job, girlies.
Bye, bye, bye.